Ah, fantastic. We are live. Hello. Happy Monday evening. It is almost April Fools. Um, there's no point to what I said there. It just, yeah. Uh, hello to the chat. We have John, Wendy Sue, Doug, Kay, Serge. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here with me this evening. Um, I had this scheduled for a couple weeks now, and I thought this made sense. We kind of did a kakimori sampling a couple weeks ago when we did the kyosedo, but this time I thought I would do it in comparison with both. I would do sorry, my brain is not functioning today. I would do a comparison with both, so both the brass and the stainless steel kakimori, and then also thought, let me throw in a glass pen, because that is often something that people ask about, is how do the kakimori or the metal nibs compare to a glass pen. So I've got a glass pen in here, and it's a little unfair, and I'll explain to you why it's unfair, but um, okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. The protective sheath was on it. So, let me move everything up. Sorry, I didn't realize I was so low on the screen there. Welcome to everybody who is straggling in. I love stragglers. Everybody is always welcome. And yeah, isn't it so cute? It was a gift from a friend from years ago, and she had ordered it on Etsy from somebody who made them. So this is a thick pen. I also have a less thick pen. I have a smaller one, which is right here, so we can also look at that one as well. So let's open the notebook. Today we are using the Maruman Namosane, and I know how to pronounce that because I learned, and then I always forget, but it's Namosane, in case you're ever wondering. And so if you're curious about my paper desires, I mean, other than Tomo, I have to say this is one of my favorite notebooks. I love the perforations and the nice clean white color of the page. It doesn't throw off the tones of my ink, so I really enjoy that. Okay, let's start with the brass. What does it need? I have no idea. I am not helpful there. Let's start with the brass one. So, first of all, you're probably familiar with it already if you've been here before, which you all have been. But if you're watching this later and you are new, the kakimori brass nib it's a bullet-shaped little doohickey, and it has grooves running down the sides towards the tip to channel the ink. So not only does it hold a fair amount of ink, you can also utilize the channels at a lower angle. So the brass one is a little, I mean, aside from the color, it's a little different to the steel. It's a little bit softer, but unless you're like throwing this thing at the floor, that's not going to be an issue. The real difference between the brass and the stainless steel one, other than about $10, the stainless steel is a little bit more expensive. The brass one is slightly smoother than the steel, and the steel one feels more like writing with a cursive italic. This is how I explain it. And the brass feels like writing with a stub. So we've got 2 nib holders here, and that's it. So let's start. You found edible paper. Interesting. Please tell us about this. That is very peculiar. Thank you, Simmerjeet. Isn't all paper edible? I mean, okay. I guess you're not wrong. So, the first thing when you're dipping these, you don't have to dip the entire thing. You can just kind of eyeball it, and then I just wipe off the excess. And sometimes you gotta feel around a little bit. So, okay. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to just describe the feeling to you. It's a crisp feeling no matter what because it's a metal tip. Uh, but it doesn't scratch or catch on things, so that's where it's really nice. Like it's not catching on the page. Kakimori. And then let's do some fun angular writing. Simmer, because you commented that, I think now you need to eat paper and send us a video of it. It comes with a pen with a gel type liquid. Oh, a candy ink gel and edible paper. Interesting. Very interesting. So, okay, so we've got the brass. One of the things I also really enjoy about these nibs is they're really good for splatter because they're just holding all this ink in the channels. They're really good for that. And the other thing, super easy to clean. You just swish it around in your water. And then one of the things that a friend always reminds me to tell people is when you're removing the nib from your holder, you want to twist and pull. Don't pull it out straight because you can dislodge the glue from the actual little thingy holder. So twist and pull. And then let's use a different color ink for this stainless steel. Yes, this is the nib holder from Stationery Universe. And yes, it's the Waves of Neptune material. Oh, what ink is it? Here, let me put a link in. It's Toronto Pen Company, Great Lakes. Where is Great Lakes? Oh, it's possible he doesn't have any in the store right now. But let me just put this in here. This is where it'll be when he restocks. This one, let's use this one for the stainless steel. This one is... It's just a little crispier. And then this ink is Akkerman's Hofkwartiergroen. One of the best greens. So you can write at a high angle. You can write... So varying angles give you different lines. A lot of people enjoy using these nibs for when they're doing swatches because you can get a nice broad line with it and also a fine line for writing the ink name. And the fine line is pretty representative of like a really wet fine. So it's not like you're going to get a completely inaccurate assessment. Florida, 5 Great Lakes, prefer Michigan. That's funny. Yes, this is also a very nice ink. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It is one of my favorite green inks. It's actually one of my favorite inks. One of the best. Okay. So let's just clean. I'm gonna just clean this. And then we're gonna look at the glass pens. We'll play a bit more, but I just wanted to get started on something here. We shall play more. I've got a tiny little sample vial. Maybe I'll use this for the glass. There's almost nothing left. It might be useless. The big one won't even fit in there. So I've got 2 glass pens. Now, I can say that one of the problems that people have with glass pens is that there's a lot of cute ones you could buy from people who are really talented, like glass blowers, but they're not necessarily people who are writing with them. So they're making really beautiful glass pens that are not always great for writing with. Um, this one is made by Tag Stationery, or made for Tag Stationery, so it's from Japan. It is definitely adjusted and tuned for somebody who's actually going to write with it. This one is the Dominant Industry ink muddler, and it's so stupid and cute and tiny, and also works very well for writing. So these two are already a little bit biased in that where they have been crafted. The folks know what we want, but if we look at the tips, they're very different. We need something other than brown, gray, white. There we go. The Dominant Industry one has a long, skinny tip, and then this one has more of a bulbous one. So let's try the ink sample. It's a Sailor ink, so I had to sniff it. Oh, somebody's already beat me to the punch. There are glass dip pens with cats designed into them. I have been beat. So the thing with these tips, is you have to be very delicate with them. They're not for heavy hands. Obviously, you don't want to drop them. And you have to often need to re-dip more often than you would with, like, the kakimori. Even though it has channels, the channels are not as holdy for the ink. This one is quite crisp. It feels like a needlepoint, but I think the very restricted ink flow gives you a really good idea of what the ink will actually look like in writing. So, I cannot complain. I think it's a really good specimen. I just wanted to say specimen. And then the ink modeling side, it won't fit. Let me get out one of the bigger bottles. Okay, let's do the blue again. Isn't the muddler so cute? Yours was terrible. Interesting. Was it the... It would chip immediately. Yes, that is why it comes with the little protector, but that's also why I keep it in a padded sleeve. I also bought 3 of them because I knew what would happen. So the ink muddler is really just for muddling. It's cute. I like it. It's cute. I have not destroyed it yet. Oh, the Tag Stationery, I love it so much. It is a beautiful glass nib writer. Like, it's really nice. So let's write with this one. First of all, the design of it is just so cool. It's just so pretty. So this one is the Tag. It is more of a medium broad, and it is really delightful, quite a bit smoother than the Dominant Industry one. And there is a pretty significant sweet spot on it, so it makes it quite easy to use and write with. Now, I've only used 2 of them, and they both have been a similar experience. I don't know, I can't say if that's because they're all like this, or if I just lucked out, or if the 2 I got were from the same batch, by the same glass artist. It's really hard to say, so that is always the case with any kind of review or assessment, that we're really only working with like 1 or 2 items. Claudia, the padded sleeve doesn't save it from you dropping it mid-use. Good point. There is that. That is an issue. That is something we try to avoid around these parts. I try to avoid that. Simone, I'm going to try the stainless steel again. This was a quite I kind of did that on purpose. A fairly crisp writing sample. Let's play around with the stainless steel a bit more. So it still can do really generous inky things, just like the brass can. It's just that the steel on the page feels a little bit more crisp. So there's a bit more feedback than what you're going to get with the brass. If you already have the brass, is it really a big deal? Like, do you really, like, are you wondering, should you get the steel? Because if you've already got the brass, you're probably fine. It's really just, I wanted it because I have one of everything itis. Also, it was for science. So that I could do stuff like this and tell you guys how it works. Oh my gosh, of course I remember Makura comb. That's what my parents used to put on our wounds when we were younger. And you are right, the same little dropper. It has that little bulb at the end of the dropper, the Makura comb bottle dropper. I will draw it because we know how this always goes. This is always a success when I draw things for you. So here is the lid. Add a little bit of detail because then it looks more professional. And then the dropper was shaped like this. I'm sorry. So it's just like a little bulb, like a thermometer bulb. And then the jar was very jar-like. This is not the worst drawing I've ever done. And it doesn't look very dirty. Like, it's not like, oh no, what is she doing? You know what I mean? Like, it's actually coming out okay. Which is a miracle in itself. And then, oh, look what I just did. I added water so that we could fill in the little bottle a little bit with the liquid. Oh, what a genius. I am the coolest. Okay, let's clean that off a little. And then add there. Yeah, that's that's exactly what it. And it had that interesting smell. The Makura comb smell was kind of like iodine-ish, if I recall correctly. If you've got the brass and you like it, I wouldn't worry about going for something different. I would, yeah, I would just I would just keep the brass and maybe look at a glass pen instead. You're still having cat problems. Oh my gosh. What? Welcome, Skogsy. What is going on here? That's a very fair question. We were discussing glass nibs and how these ones have the little muddlers on the end. And then John asked, do I remember Makura comb? Which was what I decided to draw because it has specifically that little bulb. So it was like this. You would dab it inside the bottle and put it on your wound. So anyway, that's embarrassing. Yes, thank you. Science is what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You are correct, Claudia. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I was gonna say butt muddle. That might not be the right word, but let's muddle with this one. This one is, listen, this one is miles above the dominant industry muddler, both in terms of writing and also muddling, because it's so much smoother and larger that you could just get a nicer overall experience out of it. It could have been her though. Okay, let me see. Okay, Joan, thank you so much, Joan, for coming through with this data. Okay, so iodine is Makura comb with something to make it sting because people didn't believe it would work without any pain. Huh. Okay, so I wasn't nuts because I thought it smelled like it. And I think that's hilarious. People are so hilariously stupid. We're so funny. You asked Gemma 3, what happens when you combine glass, brass, and steel in the glass matrix? And it said depending on the size of the brass and steel particles, it would make a translucent or opaque material. Oh. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily a terrible thing. It just depends on. Well, first of all, that's not helpful at all. It's translucent or opaque. But that's interesting. Pen Xer, you are most welcome. I'm so glad that it was helpful for you. I just love sharing my excitement about stuff. So it's really cool when people come and hang out with me and listen to me ramble. Can we get an ink that looks like Mercurochrome? You know what ink kind of looks like it, super concentrated, is like diamine, oxblood, ancient copper. It's like something like that, neither of which I have at the ready. That's correct. Yes, butt muddle. It has a more bulbous end. You are correct. The dominant industry one has like a flat surface on it, and this one is just round all the way around. Ooh. Okay, let's turn the page. This actually came out not horribly. I'm pretty pleased with my art. I think it is not the worst art that I have ever arted. I have done worse, as we know. What was it, my guinea pig? No. Yes. Okay, this is not gonna end well. Okay, so here's a troubleshooting tip. If you have a kakimori and it's not writing properly, like if it feels like it's holding ink too much or not dropping it on the page, chances are it needs to be cleaned. So as we grip it with our fingers and remove it from the holder, you're getting your own grease all over the brass, and that can repel your ink. And what kakimori actually recommends is that you clean your holder and grooves very gently with like an extra soft toothbrush and a tiny bit of toothpaste. And it makes sense. I mean, I guess you could also just use a little bit of dilute dish soap, but it does make sense. Have I ever done it? I have done it with dish soap because I'm too lazy to use toothpaste. Also, in this economy, toothpaste? No, my toothpaste is too fancy. Because I like my teeth a lot. So I just used dish soap and it was fine. And it performs really well, and it's kind of consistent, like it will stay clean for a while. This particular sailor is 162, in case anybody's wondering. It's too valuable to just waste, hence why I'm using the very last drops. Because it's one of their studios, so it's like 20 mils for $3,000. Even though I buy them anyway. The problem is, I love that, except I actually use up my inks. So I run out and then I have to go buy more, and I don't want to. I just don't want to. Oh, I'm so excited to hear that you ordered the Tag glass pen. That is so awesome. I'm so glad that you like it. I think it is really cool, and I kind of bought it impulsively because I was buying other things, and I thought, well, I may as well make this worth it. So what do? I buy more stuff. It would have been a waste of money, in a way, to not buy more. So that's why I bought more. Okay, let's do... Oh, I have an idea. Okay, we've got that. Let's take a sniffy for the road. It's like a selfie, but when you sniff. Maybe shouldn't say that, right? Okay, and then I want to use... let's use... this. This is... Oh. Okay. That is a jar of ink that is now diluted repeatedly, and I have no idea what it is anymore. Okay, and then I'm gonna re-dip with the brass. Oh, I know what I wanted to do, and I didn't do it. I wanted to use the blue ink, not these. So dumb. You can ask an unrelated question, absolutely. Fire away. You can ask whatever you want. I cannot promise that I can always answer everything or answer it correctly, but I will do my best. This is a safe place. I mean, not always safe because I might throw ink at people by accident, but in theory. Or I might spill stuff. 7 wildly panting fruit flies. Sounds like a documentary. 7 wildly panting fruit flies. Gazed. Anxiously. Okay, wait, let me dip this more because I'm gonna do a juicy, because that's what the word is. Juicy. Bouncing kumquats. Caesar Attenborough. I was totally thinking that. I kid you not. I was thinking that. I was and just in the voice and everything. Oh gosh. And then let's draw some fruit flies. Just a few. Oh, the voice of many incumentaries. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's genius. That could be like an entire video series, an incumentary. Okay, Simone, I have not seen that one from Guri Drops, but I will go look. I mean, obviously, I can say that the tag one is really well made, and it's not very delicate. Like, it doesn't feel super delicate, which is really nice. The voice of many incumentries. That's right. I can now start signing things as Aziza Attenborough. Or I just look like a perv who married somebody with the last name Attenborough just for this. Oh, let us listen quietly as this gold nib travels across the paper. I'm not against that. I'm kind of into that. I do that myself often on my own. Boop. Okay, we're gonna let that dry a little bit. Let it dry. Claudia, I don't think that's boring. I think that's wise and sensible. I admire your ability to not impulsively buy everything. Because I definitely impulsively buy stuff, and not so much pens, but more inks and accessories. But not so, like, I mean, I impulsively buy pens, but I don't regret it. It's the inks and accessories that I buy too much of. Because I think, oh, it doesn't count. No, it counts. It counts. Do any of these nibs sing? Excellent question. No. They do not. They do make sounds like if you run it across the page really quickly. but they're not really singers. Um, it's so pretty. Do you like my fruit flies? That is some exceptional art, if I may say so myself. How does Benedict Cumberbatch pronounce penguin? Benedict Cumberbatch. Oh god. No, that's actually not even what you wrote. You wrote Cummerbun, which is hilarious. Oh gosh. That cracks me up. Okay, let's see if these sing. I'm pretty sure they don't. Like, I'm pretty sure because I said with great confidence, no. No. This one does not sing. You can hear it, but there's no singing. Okay, okay, now I want to do that right now. I want to do that right now. Okay. Graham Norton Benedict. Oh, wow. It actually came up as a search, a popular search.
The one that came up most often was ask Benedict to say the word penguin. What is this about?
Well, apparently I got it wrong repeatedly in the documentary, and now I'm completely terrified of the word. I don't go near it.
The first one you sort of get away with, and then after that you lose...
Sorry, you're with me on this one.
Let's go look. Listen carefully.
And the last thing you might expect to see here is penguins. These are Fiordland
Penguins.
penguins, named after this corner of South
Penguins? What on earth? Penguins. Okay. Okay, so... Penguins! I enjoy that so much. I'm gonna have to go loop watch that later. So he's saying penguins. What on, like, penguins? Penguins. What on earth? That just goes to show you could be rich and famous and handsome and still not know how to say the word right. I am neither of those things, but I can say the word right. Go me. Oh, yeah. This ink is the blue one. This is a stunning blue ink, I have to say. I helped pick it out, so I am biased. But let's play with it a bit. Just because it is so beautiful. It's also got a bit of red sheen. I absolutely adore it. I think it's stunning. So let's muddle it. Give it a nice muddle. And then let's give it some clean water. Because you'll see why. Okay. Oh, no. I just want you to see how pretty it is. You know what, Simmer? The tag stationary glass nib sings. So I stand corrected. It's quite nice. I don't mind singing nibs. I know a lot of people hate it. Yep. I know you guys won't be able to hear it, but you'll have to trust me. So here's this ink, Great Lakes. With our singing nib. It's like can't even imitate it. Ee, ee. That's the noise it's making, but much more singy, less awful, and more sweetly, I think. Wait, okay, that's what's upsetting. In a documentary about penguins, he's calling them penguins. But that's absolutely hilarious. Timber elegance, you don't feel so inarticulate now. Oh gosh. Yeah, and it's like he got flustered saying it and then started to overthink it. That's so funny. Okay, let me draw a duck. I don't know if I can do this. I mean, I don't know if I could draw a duck. Shoot, what do ducks look like? Okay, they have a bill. Let's give them two. Oh no, this is a bad start. Okay, it's gonna have to be above angled duck. Oh boy. Okay, here's his body. This is not... This... Listen, you guys don't come here for my art. You don't come here to see beautiful drawings. Okay. Okay, that looks terrifying. This looks so bad. BBC documentaries have a different narrator when they're shown in the States? So you'd have to watch the BBC version? Like undubbed? That's really sad. That seems like half the appeal is learning from a Brit. The duck needs a penguin for a penguin. Okay, okay. How do I draw a penguin? What do they look like? Okay. What kind of mouths do they have? Okay. Something like that. Okay. And then I know they have... Like, I know the emperor penguin is fairly rotund and fluffy, with his little fluffy bits. Okay, this is not terrible, right? Oh, please tell me this is not terrible. Because I realize it's very disproportionate. I can see that now. This looks like a bird. Oh, thank you. Okay, let's see. Thank you for the emojis. Okay. His little beak is cute. His little wave. Okay. I literally copied the emoji. Thank you for that. You know, it's not my fault. I panic when I have to draw things because I can't remember what they look like. That's not terrible, right? Like, that's recognizable as a penguin. Kind of. I mean, it's not the best looking penguin, but... Ducks from above? I think... So, okay, Bob the Builder calls a hedgehog a porcupine. That makes me feel better. That makes me feel better. Oh, he can have a little tiny bow tie. Oh, now he looks like a penguin a bit. I don't know what happens below. I'm not really sure what their feet shapes are. I can't remember. I guess he needs another arm. Look, he's waving. Yay! Okay, this is not the worst. This is not the worst. Let's put some ground there. Give him a little bit of detail to stand on. I'm just picturing Claudia writing with a glass tip pen, and then all of a sudden, it just like, she just like opens her hand and lets it go, and it falls and breaks. I feel like that's what might happen. Okay, it's not the worst. It's pretty. I mean, it's not the best, but it's okay. Oh, their feet are usually covered by their tummies. That's okay. So that's probably why I never recognize what their feet look like. Right, that's what I was thinking here. Like, this is where the egg goes. They carry it on their feet. Ooh, a top hat. Oh, he could be holding a hat. Okay. Like, top of the morning to ya, or something. Something like that. Right? A source watching the Disney Penguin documentary with your daughter 50 million times. Okay, I almost said penguin. I get it now. I see the problem. Once you say it wrong once, it's like a parasite. It ingrains itself in your brain or something. Well, thank you, Dragon Drawer. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I mean, it's not the worst drawing of this first one. Looks horrifying. It's like a vulture. The second one that was inspired by, or aka completely copied by Bailey's post. Bailey's comment had this penguin, and that's exactly what I copied. So somebody needs to get a pet penguin and call it Penguin. Penguin. Guys, what do I want for dinner? I had noodles and it was not enough. It was like panic noodles because I couldn't do this hungry. And so now I don't know what I want. Such a dilemma. Penguin. A sanguine penguin. Yes, it is a penguin diction virus. Penguinis? Are those baby penguins? Quite possibly? Oh, you're having Italian. Oh, that sounds so good. Huh. I'm also so thirsty. I have been devastatingly thirsty for like a week and a half, and it's driving me insane. And don't judge me, I'm drinking out of a plastic water bottle that I can refill. But it's I don't know, it's some kind of special water for special tummies. I love tacos so much. I think my taco place is closed. I missed the taco window. I'm completely ignoring everybody and going to look now. Oh, they're closed. Bummer. Boo earns. That is a tragedy. Okay, what should I draw now? Like, let's keep going. Let's keep drawing things. Let me keep butchering the arts. Oh, that's so cute. The baby penguins swide on the berries. That's so cute. Like an actual proper artist needs to do these. I feel like somebody like Inky Converters could draw baby penguins very well. A penguini with mustard. That would probably be a pretty delicious little snack. A weenie dog. Oh, I want to draw a wiener dog. Okay. Okay. Let's do that. Is this clean? No. It was not. Dear viewer, it was not. Okay, we're going to do a wiener dog. This is not going to go well. Because Okay, let's start with a nose. And then we'll do a snout. And then let's do eyes. And then... Oh. Okay. Okay, now the problem is, I drew it at an angle. Do dogs have whiskers? Yes. Okay, I drew it at an angle. That is not gonna work for my art. Okay, so... No, we can. Okay, so it has a neck. And then it's a full wiener. And they're pretty low to the ground, right? Oh, God. Oh, God. You know what? Maybe it's an overweight wiener dog. Oh, that would have been a Mr. Krabs, you're right. It's an overweight wiener dog. And then let's give him a collar so that people know it's a dog. A beanie weenie dog. Okay, one day King Taco. Oh my god, that sounds so good. I start with the face because I feel like it's the easiest thing to start with. But then let me do a body first. Let's do a body. Okay, so here's the dog. Here's its tail. Here is its front paw. Let's do its back paw. And then another back paw. See, the problem is now I have to do a face. And I don't know how to do the face. Okay, so it's sideways. This doesn't feel proportionate, but we're going with it. Oh! That's not bad. I mean, compared to the first one, it's not bad. Okay, Wendy Sue, think basic shapes first. Girl, that ship has sailed. That is not how my art brain works. I think. Waffles we can draw. Uh-oh, this is not looking like a Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop that, I think. We're only at... It's 9:50. We could keep going, but I think it's probably a good place to stop. While I clean up, I'll chit-chat. I mean, the whole thing was really supposed to be about the kakimori brass nib, stainless steel nib, and some glass writers, just to compare for you guys so that you have an idea of what it feels like to write with them. And I hope it was helpful. Wouldn't that be hilarious if I just like broke these right here? It wouldn't be funny, but yeah, that waffle looks like a pile of barf as well. So, you know, what toppings go best in a waffle? Ooh, I mean, it really depends on the mood. Oh my god, you know what I could go eat? You know what's open? Denny's. Oh, I could get waffles there. Oh my god. I am so glad. Thank you so much, Darren. I actually I actually see that you texted me. Sorry guys that I'm taking care of business at the same time. I was preparing for this. So yeah, this is what came out. But thank you. It looks like my second wiener dog sharted this or something. A cereal called Waffalo's. I do not. I do not know that cereal. I don't know if that sounds desirable. Like, were they mini, like, tiny waffles? Like, as a cereal? That's so weird. I'm so jealous of everybody who has access to tacos right now. Like, what is the point? I say again, what is the point of living in a big city if all the food is not open 24/7? Yeah, you know? I want food, like, now. This is my time. This is my hour. This is my hour. So this is how, nobody asked, but I'll just show you. This is how I store all my inky mess stuff. The only thing that's missing is a blower that I keep. But got my swink. We've got water brushes, a brush pen, a ridiculous glass thing that I spent like $100 on that I should not have, but I love it anyway. It's a glass dish. Remember I showed it to you guys before. In the containers, I've got like cleaning supplies and playing supplies. This is full of nibs, so this is where I put my nibs. I keep the holders just kind of loose. I've got the fancy holder in here. This one goes in protection. I've got pipettes in here somewhere. The Sailor Hokotos, these ones. So I try to keep it all together. It's getting it's bursting a little bit at the seams. I might need to tone it down a little, but that's a project for another day. Not today. Okay. Oh, I have so many pouches. Maybe I will just dedicate a video to pouch tours. The cat containers from the nibs are from Wonder Pens, but I'll tell you the brand because I know other stores carry them. Firefly Notes. FireflyNotesOnline.com. And so, oh, look, they're made in Canada. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so they have a whole bunch of different patterns, so I am also going to go check them out. Firefly Notes on... Not right now, I'm just opening it for later. I have tried Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. I don't like it. It's too sweet. just toss it in there, whatever. Thank you guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really... I know I've said it before, but I really appreciate all of your company, and I have so much fun with you. So I'm very grateful for all of you. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and don't get fooled too hard tomorrow. And that's everything. Take care, and we'll see you next Monday. Bye!